One sign of intelligence is the ability to recognize patterns. And humans tend to think of ourselves as the most intelligent species on the planet, but I don't think that's true. And I think our incapacity to see patterns is one of our primary features. And oh, sure, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we all know that the next part of the pattern at this point, once we've learned how to count, is 5. But we're very selective in how we perceive this. I've made videos before about, I'm going to lay out a pattern. Let's see if we can recognize it in less than 6,000 years, which is when you think of the Middle East, or when you think of Iraq, is the first thing you think of, cedar forests so thick the sunlight never touched the ground. That's what it was prior to the beginnings of its culture. Gilgamesh is the first written myth of Western civilization. It's about him destroying the forests of Iraq, cedar forests, to make a great city. And the Arabian Peninsula was oak savanna. The Near East was heavily forested. North Africa was heavily forested. Greece was heavily forested. Can we see that pattern? And likewise, I mean, all of my work is not particularly cognitively challenging. The only thing that is true, the only gift I have is a minor capacity to extrapolate. That's it. So I can see that, and I don't understand how everybody else can't see this, that I can see that if you have uncountable salmon and then you can count them, and then there's 500,000, and then there's 300,000, and then there's 100,000, anybody can see the direction that that pattern is going. And I just learned a couple days ago that in the 19th century and in the early 20th century, there would be these massive migrations of squirrels, where squirrels would swim across the Ohio River in masses. These masses would be 300,000 squirrels per acre, and they might take 12 days to go by with millions and millions of squirrels. And there are a lot of squirrels around, but there's not that many squirrels around. And, we see that carbon dioxide levels are rising, and we extrapolate a little bit. Yeah, bad things may happen, but we don't, then our solutions to them are just an extension of the same industrial mindset that's killing everything. And that makes an excuse to mine for lithium in Nevada, mine for lithium all over the place, mine for all sorts of stuff all over the bottom of the ocean. It's just an excuse to destroy more. I wish that people would do at least a minimal extrapolation and of current trends. You probably see fewer migratory songbirds than you did 20 years ago. Or when you think about where you grew up and you think about what it's like now, the chances are good, if where you grew up was semi-rural, it's probably now a subdivision. And I mean, that's how I became an environmentalist. Was in second grade, they put in a subdivision next to where I lived. And I thought, if this keeps happening, where will the meadowlarks go? Where will the cottonwoods go? Where will the garter snakes go? And I was 7 years old. This is not, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. In fact, I would say it takes anybody but a rocket scientist to figure this out. You can't consume a planet and continue to live on it. That's the most basic extrapolation of all.